So then guys, Apple have just announced the brand new iPad 11th generation, or the iPad 2025. But how does it compare to the 10th generation iPad? Is it worth upgrading from this model, say? Well, today we're going to compare both of these models in doing an iPad 10th generation versus the iPad 11th generation review of specs. And let's get started right away. So as you can see right here, we have the iPad 10th generation on the left and we have the 11th generation on the right. Now, it's been about a 2.5 year gap or so, just under that, between both these generations of the iPad. And let's get started then. So to begin with then, the display type. Both of these iPads are exactly the same. They have the exact same display technology. This is the liquid retina display that we have inside of it. This is technically the same sort of display we've had ever since the original iPad 3rd generation. What was years ago. That screen we had, that LED display, it hasn't changed at all. It's exactly the same what's inside of both of these iPads right here. And then moving on to the screen size, they are both 10.9 inches big on both of these. So because they've got the exact same chassis, there is no difference whatsoever on this. Then moving on then, we've got the screen resolution. Now the screen resolution, like I said, because we've got the identical screens, we have no differences here whatsoever. We have a 2360 by 1640 screen resolution, and the aspect ratio on this is a 4.3 aspect ratio. And just in case you wanted to know, what does that mean in pixels per inch? Well, in pixels per inch, that is 264 pixels per inch, or 264 ppi here. A very good display for an iPad like this, especially at the distance that you keep it away from your face. This is crystal clear to actually see. Then for brightness on both of these iPads, again, exactly the same. They're 500 nits brightness. So 500 nits is very good, definitely to use in most scenarios. Obviously, if it is a super bright day outside, then, you can't actually use it that well, to be honest. But, generally speaking, in most scenarios, this should be absolutely fine for you. Then for the actual display refresh rate, both of these iPads come with a 60 Hz display refresh rate. There is no Pro Motion, just like there's no Pro Motion in the iPad Air series. Just the Pro series actually have this, so obviously there's no difference here whatsoever with both of these. Now, this is where there are the changes. This here is the processor and the CPU, or basically both in one here. So what we have is, originally in the iPad 10th generation, this was an A14 chip. This had a 6-core CPU and a 4-core GPU inside it, and the 16-core Neural Engine 2. Whereas with the iPad 11th generation, because it's been about 2.5 years time, now we've actually been bumped up to the A16 chip. Now the A16 chip, by the way, that is the exact same chip what's inside of, say, the likes of the iPhone 15, what's still for sale from Apple. It only just came out just about 18 months ago or so. But the big difference, what I'm going to point out here, it does have the same 6-core CPU, but there's only a 4-core GPU inside of this time round. There isn't a 5-core version of it, and there's also a 16-core Neural Engine. So for cores on both of these generations, they're exactly the same. There is no differences there, but it's what's actually happening with those cores does make the difference. So here in Geekbench CPU, you can actually see the difference. So in single core performance, we've got 2088 in the 10th generation iPad, with that A14, and the iPad 11th generation with the single core got 2538 in its single core score there. But then for multi-core performance, you can see the difference here. We had 5014 compared to 6649. We're talking about a 1/5 kind of power increase. It's not a huge amount. It's a good amount, I am going to say that, but obviously it's not going to be much in it between them, both of these sort of iPads. If you do have the A14, the 10th generation, and you wanted to upgrade to the 11th generation, I would say there is too much point with doing this. But then for RAM amounts, well, we do have a little increase here. We did actually have 4 gigabytes of RAM, and now this is 6 gigabytes of RAM now. That is the difference there. We're getting that A16 put inside of the iPad 11th generation. And then for storage, I would also say this is the next biggest change next to the CPU. The iPad 10th generation, well, that started out with having inside of it 64 gigabytes as the base amount of storage and 128 and 256, whereas now with the iPad 11th generation, the base amount of storage is double the amount. It's 128 gigabytes. There is the 256 gigabyte option, and now there is also a 512 gigabyte option what you can pick from, what is really, really good to see from Apple that they've decided to do this. But then moving over to the operating system. Now, both of these iPads can run iPadOS 18. So that is really, really good news to hear. Now, obviously, you cannot run Apple Intelligence on either of these iPads. It's something what is missing. You would have to step up into, say, iPad Air territory of a new one if you want to get that capability on there. Obviously, there are older iPad Airs and also the older iPad Pros can run this too. But obviously, just the baseline iPad cannot do that. Now, the 10th generation iPad OS is most likely only going to get around about another sort of 3 years of sort of updates going inside of it. Whereas the 11th generation, well, this will get definitely more. More likely it's going to get at least about another 5 years of operating system updates, and this is great news to hear with this one. This is one big advantage if you definitely want to have updates going into the future. But then for battery life, Apple has promised the exact same amount of battery life on both of these. This is up to 10 hours battery life on both, so no differences there. And then for wired and wireless sort of charging capabilities, both of them have USB-C charging ports at the bottom up to 20 watts, and both of them cannot do wireless charging on this. But then moving over to the weight of these iPads, there is literally nothing in it. It's 1 gram. So the iPad 10th generation came in at 476 grams for the Wi-Fi model. The new iPad 11th generation is 477 grams. There is no difference here whatsoever, in my opinion. Then for water resistance, there is none on there, so you cannot get these wet or splash them even, unfortunately, so nothing there. But then for charging ports as well, that USB-C port at the bottom of them, because of them having the A16 and the A14, both of them can only do USB 2.0 kind of speeds of transfers, not even USB 3.0, what you get, for example, like on the iPad mini, the iPad Air, and also, on the iPad Pro, it can even go up to Thunderbolt kind of speeds there. But then for stereo speakers, this does have them. It's got 4 speakers on each end, what's really, really good to see. We've also got 5G capability if you go for that cellular option on both of them, so that's awesome as well. Bluetooth technology is quite good. It's on Bluetooth 5.3 for both of these, so no differences. And then we've also got Wi-Fi 6 on both of these iPads too, so no difference there in speed sort of connectivity. Then moving over to the rear cameras, again, we've got the exact same snapper inside it. We've got the 12 megapixel wide camera, but what I would say is the A16 using a bit of its sort of chip sort of capabilities. Maybe photos might come out ever so slightly sharper and better with that, but really not a lot. But both of them can record up to 4K video. And then the selfie cameras on both of them are exactly the same on here. We both have landscape single lens cameras. These are center stage cameras and 12 megapixel up to 4K on both of these. Then the next question is, what about Apple Pencil and Apple Pencil support? Well, both these can support the exact same Apple Pencil. So they can support the first generation if you have the Lightning port, connectivity and adapter and a cable to do that. But they also support the USB-C pencil that came out around about almost 2 years ago now. So that is great news to hear that you can actually use that. That one came out in 2023, but you cannot use the Apple Pencil Pro on either of these iPads. So just note that down if you're planning on getting that pencil. For price rise, the great news is that last year the iPad 10th generation came down by $100 to $349 and you got the 64 gigabyte base model. The great news is the iPad 11th generation starts at $349 as well, but you get the 128 gigabyte storage option with this. What is really great news to hear. For colors wise, they're exactly the same. We have the silver, the blue, the pink and the yellow. So 4 colors that you can pick from for both of these iPads. And with that, which iPad model will you be buying? So as we can see here, it's been really great news to hear that we had an upgrade to the iPad 10th generation. And personally, Apple keeping it $350 I think is a great price, especially that we've got that upgraded storage and we've got the A16. Now, I was hoping the A18 was going to go inside of it, and a lot of people also thought this was going to be the potential here, but it seems like Apple have not decided to put Apple Intelligence whatsoever into this iPad. But I think for just an iPad just to go, for $350 with the A16, another sort of 5 years, say, of operating system updates, the 128 gigabytes of storage for an iPad being an iPad. This iPad is fantastic for its value. For $349 US, you cannot go wrong with it. I think definitely for the price, it is the best iPad you can get out there, or even one of the best tablets you can get out there for that price. And the great news is, I believe that later on in the year, that come like Black Friday and things like this might even go down to say $300 to actually buy it, what will be absolutely amazing value for what you're going to be getting with it. So, you know, on this one, I definitely think Apple have done it right here with this iPad. And I would be saying, if you own, say, the iPad 9th generation or older, or any kind of sort of model like that, then this is definitely a worthy upgrade to go to. If you've got the 10th generation, the current one, I wouldn't say there's any need to upgrade for this. Maybe wait out for the iPad 12th generation. But anything older, say the 9th generation or the older, what's not in this kind of sort of design, the old sort of iPad design, definitely worth upgrading to this model, in my honest opinion, out there. But what do you guys think? Do you like the new iPad 11th generation, and do you think it's got some good upgrades? I'm glad that Apple managed to retain the price. Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to end this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. You want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell too. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.